Grey Goose. Please enjoy responsibly.
Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. Philip Rivers is back with the Colts at the age of 44. Tony, what were you doing when you were 44?
I'm Tony Kornheiser, writing sports. I was following Seabiscuit.
Okay,
Yeah.
no one in our
It's in the
audience
30s.
under 80
They don't know.
knows who Seabiscuit was.
He was a
Nobody.
great horse in the 1930s.
It was a movie.
He was a great horse.
Great movie about Seabiscuit.
By the way, in truth,
Yeah.
like when I was 44, this show hadn't even started yet. You know, I got to this show very old, as I'm ancient now. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, the Colts sign Philip Rivers, Kyle Schwarber stays, and Edwin Diaz goes, and Jeff Saturday joins us for 5 good minutes. But we begin today with last night's Monday Night Football game, a sloppy affair in which the Chargers outlasted the Eagles in overtime 22-19 when they intercepted Jalen Hurts near the end zone. Hurts had a particularly discouraging game with 5 turnovers, including 2 on one bizarre play. The Eagles have now lost 3 in a row, and the Chargers have won 5 out of 6. Wilbon, what does this result say about each team?
I'm going to start with the Chargers first, Tony. The Chargers are ready to challenge. I don't know how seriously to contend, but the AFC, you know, there's no Kansas City up there being Godzilla sitting on the top of something. They don't have that. So I think they're maybe even ready to contend. And let me just say this about Justin Herbert. To have surgery in the same week and come out there and run it 9-10 times and put yourself in harm's way and have his teammates in love with him at the end of that game said all good things to me about the Chargers. Now, the Eagles, they can still defend. They can sack you 7 times. They can have 7 tackles for losses. They can hit. They can cover. But offensively, they're so confused like they've been over the last few weeks. Tony, I don't want to hear from A.J. Brown, who drops a couple, who gets it off his fingertips and can't reel it in. Throw it to me some more. No, catch the damn ball when it's thrown to you. We don't need to go to you 13 times. But the Eagles, Tony, they still control their division. They still do.
That's right. Yeah, so that's the dichotomy with the Eagles. The Eagles are in apparent trouble. Their offense has vanished. In the last 5 games, they have fewer touchdowns scored than every team in the league other than the Raiders. They only have 8 touchdowns in the last 5 games. They only had 1 last night. They seem to be stuck in neutral. But they're in first place in the division. And the team closest to them, the Cowboys, is a team that neither you nor I would have complete faith in.
That's right.
So they're in better shape than Kansas City, for example. They're in better shape. I mean, if I wanted to calm the water, I would point out that Matthew Stafford a couple of weeks ago had 2 interceptions and a lost fumble in a game that the Rams lost to Carolina, and then came back with 3 touchdown passes and no picks as they destroyed Arizona. Jalen Hurts could do that, but as you know, with your friends who are Eagles fans, and I know as my friends who are Eagles fans, they have panicked, and they are ready to throw Hurts off the train. They're ready to do that. I am somewhat confused by the Chargers. All praise to their quarterback, who plays hurt and begins to look like Josh Allen out there. But Mike, their 9-3 or 9-4 record is built against only 1 good win, really, against Denver. And here's what they've got coming up: at Kansas City, at Dallas, home Houston, at Denver.
That's
tough.
That's hard.
That's a tough close.
They're going to get to show us.
That's a tough close.
Yeah, they're going to get. Tony, we're going to know going into the playoffs whether they're ready or not, based on, I think, in large part, the last 4 and last night, last 5 games of the regular season.
Yeah.
Let's move to this Colts signing of Philip Rivers, the practice squad today. Gives the team the option of promoting him to the real roster for Sunday's game at Seattle. The 44-year-old grandfather last played in the league in 2020, leading the Colts to an 11-5 record. They were good. With Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson now out, and rookie Riley Leonard, Notre Dame, questionable with that knee injury, Tony, is signing Rivers inspired or desperate?
If those are my choices right now, I would say desperate, because he's 44 years old, because he last played in the NFL 1,800 days ago, right? That's his last snap 1,800 days ago. It was 2020. He was 39 years old then, which was old then, but he had a really good year, as you point out. Colts made the playoffs, and they were 11-5. If he can revive these Colts, then it would be inspired. But if we could, let's look at the really good quarterbacks in NFL history who were 44. But let's leave Tom Brady out because everybody knows about Tom Brady. So here is the list. There is no list.
That's right.
There is no list, right? And as you said before, he's a grandfather. I think that's important. I understand what's going on here. Shane Steichen, the coach, knows him from the Chargers, where when Phillip Rivers played at the Chargers, Steichen had a series of offensive coaching jobs. He trusts them. They're good friends. I get that part, but, it feels a little desperate to me.
Nothing's as overrated in football as this notion that it's choreographed. What? There is mayhem. And at 44 years old, he is ill-equipped, Phillip Rivers, even though he's going to get a whole lot of Hall of Fame votes, legitimately, to deal with the mayhem going on around him. We know he understands the offense. That's not the final objective. It's great, Tony. I've listened many times to our dear friend Charles Barkley. And Charles talks about retiring because your body's aching and it's hurt and you're beat down after years and years of competitiveness. And you then take a couple seasons off and you work out and you lose some weight and you heal up and you come back and you say, wow, I feel really good now. Until the first time somebody knocks you out and then you say, no, I can't do this. And it seems that Charles came to that realization and Phillip Rivers has not. He's going to come to it in Seattle. I just hope it's temporary and nothing more, if that, in the blue tent, not even that.
I'm going to tell you something. I feel bad for Daniel Jones because he was going to be comeback player of the year. And now he's hurt on, both legs are gone. And I feel badly for him. They haven't had a quarterback that they can trust really for any length of time since Andrew Luck. It's a while back. Baseball's stove got hot in a hurry. Kyle Schwarber's free agency is over already. The 32-year-old NL home run champ is reportedly returning to the Phillies for 5 years and $150 million. And closer Edwin Diaz is leaving the Mets for the Dodgers, 3 years, $69 million, as LA makes a run for its third straight World Series title. Wilbon, which of these is the more impactful move?
Oh, you're going to say my reaction is totally predictable, and it is. It's Schwarber for a million reasons. One, the contract. When I heard the numbers, I thought, oh my God, this is so team-friendly. Team-friendly. You're getting a guy $30 million, okay? You can say that's a lot of money, it is. But Schwarber goes out there between 155 and 162 games every year. There's no threat of Tommy John. There's no DL. There's no down. He's got to miss a turn. Schwarber's out there and he's giving you 50 home runs plus this last season. The Phillies seem incredibly lucky to me. Wow, I would hope there were other teams out there tempting Schwarber, particularly the one he grew up with, the team I root for, because I thought the Cubbies might have had a chance at him. Schwarber.
Yeah, what I like about the show is when we have honest disagreements. The most impactful signing is Edwin Diaz. He has 253 saves in 9 seasons so far. He's got a career ERA of 2.82. The Dodgers have starters. They need relievers. They need to stop their starters from having to work in the bullpen. In Game 7, Yamamoto threw 34 pitches against Toronto.